So guys, there was a question if somebody should quit their job and follow their dream to be a 3D artist right now. I don't think this is a very good idea right now. In the current state of the industry, it will be even a bad idea. Why? Because, if you're a beginner artist, it will be very difficult to find a job. I mean, almost impossible. Even for seasoned artists, it's difficult to find freelance or jobs right now. And some of them are even laid off. Because that's the state of the industry right now. It's not very good. The gambling industry is very well right now because of the state of the whole economics in the world. Gambling is thriving. So if you want to go into the gambling, it's fine, but the gambling industry usually is seeking out for 2D artists. And more seeking out of 2D artists who can work with AI, which means you have to be able to draw, you have to be able to fix the mistakes of the AI, so you have to be relatively good 2D artist in order to work with the AI. But this is what is looked for right now. 3D artists for the game industry or for other industries are not very well, it's not looked for right now. But this probably will change. It depends on the state of the economy worldwide. It's normal for the gambling to thrive when we have problems, conflicts, inflation, whatever. And then gambling is the best. But then, when everything starts to be okay, everyone have money, they return to the normal entertainment, which is games, which is movies and stuff like this. So then, the gaming industry again will be on its glory. Right now, it's not that time. I mean, right now we are at the bottom, I would say, for the game industry. So, my prediction, if I have to predict something, although I'm not exactly a fortune teller, but if I have to predict, I would say 2026 will be the year that everything will start to go back to normal, slowly. But the idea is that before that, you can take that time, until then, to grow your skill. If you do that, maybe after everything goes back to normal, you will have a good chance. Because, the thing is that the standards of taking people in the big studios especially are getting bigger and bigger every year. When I was younger, in Gameloft, where I applied, they took people who are very bad. I mean, my portfolio and my test for Gameloft were pretty good, but there were people with far worse, and they were also taken. Now they are one of these guys who I always mention. He's now art director in Ubisoft, but probably they saw something in him. But his portfolio was awful. It was just super funny. It was so bad because he wasn't an artist, we may say. He hasn't have too much experience with drawing, but obviously he wanted to do it so bad. So I don't know. Sometimes it just happened, but nowadays it cannot happen. Nowadays people want somebody to work and to make money for them, not to teach them or to nourish them or whatever. They want somebody to make them money, because everything is these days about money, So, I don't know, but I know that now the state of the industry is that it's very difficult to find a job as a 3D artist, as a 2D artist in the game industry. I mean, as a programmer, probably, as a game designer, whatever you want to find a job in the game industry, it's very difficult nowadays. Even for me, it will be relatively difficult to find a job in the game industry right now, although I have so much experience and I can start right now, and I can be a valuable asset to many companies, maybe not all the companies, but some. But it will be difficult because they are not searching for people. They are laying off people mostly. They want to cut off their expenses maybe or something. Yeah, mostly this. They want to cut off their expenses. That's why I would not recommend to leave your job to follow your dream in the game industry right now. If you did it like, let's say, 3 years ago, it maybe would be valuable, because 3 years ago in the pandemic times, the game companies were hiring everybody, almost everybody, who can do the job, of course. Now it's the opposite. They are laying off everybody. So just relax, you know. I probably will have to make a video like this talking about exactly this topic for my main channel, which is the Speed Chart channel. This one is Speed Chart Life, as you probably most of you know. But I will probably at some point. But the idea now is, if you can draw a little bit, maybe try to apply it to this kind of gambling companies. Yes, it will not be the job that you are dreaming of, but it will be working in a studio environment, which is very important to learn how the things are going there. Also, you will meet people who are having a similar interest to you, artists. And those things are pretty important, in my opinion. So I would say just try, if you have some experience in drawing, try to apply as an AI artist, for example. Yeah, I know it sounds bad, and it will be bad, because when you are retouching AI, this will be probably the worst job ever, because you are not actually honing your artistic skills. And many of us just want to do art stuff, you know. We want to make art, and when you just fix stuff from the AI, it's not art. It's not art at all. So I know it will be heavy, but first it will be in some kind of similar industry. It will be in the similar kind of way, which means in a studio with leads and everybody, exactly like in the game industry. And it will be temporary. Definitely take it as a temporary thing that you have to do to survive, because otherwise you have to find something else, some other job, which probably will be different, completely different from the arts. And yeah, you probably will not be the happiest man or woman alive. You definitely will not be the happiest when you are you know, retouching AI stuff. But as I said, it's better than working in a convenience store or whatever, since it's completely different from a studio. In convenience store, I mean, from a gaming studio. It's very different. Maybe not so different after all, but it's probably not the same. Who knows? Hi Nico, what's your opinion about doing tests at least 3 days worth of work for studios? It's a very divisive issues. No, tests are completely important. The studio will watch your portfolio and they say, okay, this guy is good enough to give him the test. He's not good enough to work with us. He's good enough to give him the test, because they want to see exactly how fast you work and exactly how big is your quality when you have a certain task that they need. They need, for example, people who will work for stylized game stuff, and they give you that kind of test, because your work in your portfolio maybe not exactly what they're looking for, but they are willing to give you the benefit of a doubt, or they give you a test. So you do the test, and you will do the test. When I was going to Gameloft 2007, many years ago, I had to do the test, and I did it, and they took me. So test is very important. You cannot go without a test. Especially for a big company, it's absolutely normal to do a test before you go there. If you don't want to do the test, you shouldn't apply even to a big company. It's not gonna happen. Tests are absolutely vital. They cannot actually judge your skill just from your portfolio if you will be valuable to them. That will be the test most of the time. It will give them the idea. And if you put in the test around, as I always say, 120% of yourself, even if they don't take you in the company, you will learn a lot. So I suggest do the tests and do them as good as possible. Gather references. Spend time to gather references, like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, doesn't matter. Gathering references is your first step. Even if you have a concept, you have to gather references for the folds, for some other things. You have to gather a lot of references. If you don't have references, you will do the job at most with less than 100% of your skill. Less than 100% if you don't get references. Only references will get you higher than 100% of your skill. I always say that. And young artists, I see it time and time. I was the same. They have problems using references. They think that this is cheating. They think that this is something that they need to be prepared to do everything, like folds and everything and anatomy, without any help, which is absurd. And nowadays I know it. And as I grow older, I use more and more references when needed. And they are needed. Every time you have a job, which is paid job, you need references. Now I can work without references pretty well. I can do the job pretty nicely, but I have so much experience using references that this is normal. If you are a young artist, you usually will not have that much experience, and that's when references will come to your rescue if you let them. And you should let them. If you don't let them, nobody can help you, it will be bad. Okay, this came out better than I expected. Sometimes the things are kind of a, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of a luck, and they kind of arrange themselves better than we expected, which is fine. And this probably happened because this is my third time working on this particular concept, which probably is, yeah, this is the reason. Working for a third time is kinda, yeah, I know what to do exactly and how to do it. Should be that, yeah. Really. Not my skill right now, since I haven't sculpted at all yesterday, for example. Yesterday, haven't sculpted at all. I had to go to the academy, the Arc Academy here in Bulgaria, because the students of the second year were graduating yesterday. So I went there to see what's happening, to drink some beer, and to laugh, to speak with the people. It was very nice. And when you are in such an academy, I realized that, yeah, you can learn by yourself. Yes, definitely, it's not a problem. I learned by myself mostly. But when you are in such academy where people are all like you, they are introverts, they have the same interests, they like to, they're much more like to stay at home and draw or sculpt instead of going out with friends to a discotheque or whatever. So they are exactly like you. And this is amazing to find people like you with the same interests and to kind of find their own place in the world, we may say. That's very, very cool. Okay. Okay, let's see some interesting questions if we have. Okay, there are some tips on how to do bodies and stuff. Although I like to do them in an old-fashioned sculpting way. Everybody has their own way, My way is to do everything, almost everything, in the sculptor's way. Because I like sculpting more. And this gives me pleasure. That's why, even if it's more effective some other way, with a little bit of modeling or whatever, I like to do it sculpt-wise, with sculpting. That's my explanation. Can we 3D print the model which you are creating from Blender? Yes, you can. if you have the model, definitely. If you don't have the model, usually you will not be able to 3D print it. But I'm planning at some point, when I overcome my laziness, to make... I have already a Patreon. I have a Patreon. I plan to do it, to develop it, to put models in it for the Patreons. For example, Goro model. I may put this guy. By the way, I have a dog. Maybe some of you don't know, but this is my dog. He's very cute and very, very friendly. He's very nice if he likes you. If he doesn't like you, sometimes he's not that nice. I mean, he's good dog, yeah, very nice. And this guy I have for a long time. This, by the way, is from my own concept, and I did it in 3D, and then one of my friends, he printed it. And it's a pretty cool statue, I may say. It's kind of a sturdy, big. So yeah, I have a dog. Very cute, amazing, yeah. He has a very small, very tiny, very good nose. The nose, you know? Oh, yeah, cutie. Very cool. And he's always smiling, you see, because he's happy. He's very happy dog. He's positive, you know. He always thinks on the positive side. Very cool. I don't believe Nico is an introvert. You know, many people are not exactly introvert or not exactly extrovert. Some people are having from both traits. I'm introvert in the way that I like to stay at home, not to go out too much, and I like to do my stuff, you know, to sculpt. Back in the days. Nowadays I am lazy and I am watching some movies and TV series, TV shows. That's what I'm doing these days, but back in the days I was just developing my art when I was younger. Now my art is so developed, I don't need to develop it anymore. I'm joking. We are all learning, and we are learning all our lives. There is no denying that, you know. We will all learn, and everywhere. Every time. Always. I merge two objects in Dynameshed. How do I remove geometry inside of the model and not make it hollow? And not make it hollow. I don't know, the question is a little bit strange. Nico, are you teaching in the Arc Academy? Yes, I am. I'm teaching these days... not these days. I'm teaching 5 years now. I was teaching in Arc Academy. First 3D character art for most years. And the last year I was teaching anatomy, strangely enough. Yeah, because people from the Arc said, our previous anatomy teacher, he was very good by the way, he don't know that much English. And nowadays we have to speak English there. Mostly we have to teach people in English, everything. So that are the new rules. And the other guy, who is very good in anatomy, who was the anatomy teacher, he didn't speak too much English, so he quit it, or something like this. And they decided that I am the other guy that they know, that's kind of okay with anatomy. And they offered me to do the anatomy. And I said, okay, no problem. And the character art classes, I don't know who is leading them right now. But some of my previous students, I think, are leading them. But anatomy, it's very difficult for somebody who is not very good in anatomy to teach anatomy. You have to be at least as good as me, you know, which is, yeah. Because I was studying anatomy for more than 20 years. And I have more to study, even. But I know it. I'm sexy and I know it. Okay. Very cute, okay. Can you recommend best 3D printer? Yeah, I have a 3D printer, which is not exactly I have it. I have it because I bought it. But I don't have it at my place. It's Frozen 8K something printer. And it's very good. Most of my recent things are printed with it. But it's expensive. I think it was almost $1,000 when I bought it. So it's not very cheap, and also you have this resin that you have to buy. That's also not very cheap. So overall, it's hard to recommend something like this to anybody. but it's very good for this kind of stuff. That dog will give you nightmares. Yes. Well, I hope you the very best, Nico. I will collaborate when with somebody else. With someone else. Thanks for the tutorials. I'm accomplishing huge by your help. Thank you very much. Very pretty good. That dog is going to give me nightmares. Yes, probably yes. Have you ever sculpted yourself? Yes, but not too much. Nico, I needed to make your next tutorial. Will you make stylized anatomy course? Stylized anatomy course is not a bad idea. But probably I will do some kind of a monster course since I haven't done monsters. I probably should do a monster since, you know, I haven't done monsters, but I like to do monsters. I like to do monsters a lot. This is one of my favorite things. Why? At least it was. Because I have a monster living inside of me. And I want to just let it go, this monster, inside of the canvas, we may say, which is the 3D for us. Yeah, so that's mostly. What age did you start 3D, Nico? I started 2004 with 3D Max, so I was 23, probably 23. I was around 23 years old. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, for 21 minutes, I think we are in a good space, in a good place. Maybe not exactly space, in a good place with this model. For 20-something minutes. It's looking good, even since it's still a kind of a low poly. We can divide it a little bit more. Like this. And then smooth it, so it could look much better. And we have to refine some things again. But overall, I am... usually, as you know, probably people who are watching me regularly, they know that I am not happy with my results usually, especially on this fast sculpt. But this, I kind of like it right now. Probably there is a problem, because you shouldn't like your models that much. When you start liking them, you have to always be aware that probably there is something wrong, and you will see it after you go away from the model and then go back again. Before that, you probably will not be able to see it, and that's usually an issue. But it's not an issue when you just do it. Just sculpt, 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 and then go away from your model for 2 hours, 3 hours, do something else, and then come back and compare your model with your concept, and you will see a lot of problems. At least I see them, probably because I have a lot of experience, maybe, I don't know. But how will you get the experience if you don't do it, you know? If you don't just do it. Just do it! Just do it! Like this. Just do it! Yeah. Nice to see you. I like your live stream. Thank you. Nico, can you please give me some advice on how to cope with balding? I'm 25 now and I'm losing my hairs extremely. Yeah, when I was 25, I was losing my hair, and I was coping with it by just shaving my head. It's just very, very easy. Very easy. You know? How much it costs to go in Arc Academy online? I wanted to check it out, but I closed and I can't. I don't know. Now we will have some courses starting from the autumn, which I will also teach in the online, because usually I teach in the normal, not the online. But now we probably will start some anatomy or Blender courses. We will see. I will tell you when I know more about it. It will not be hugely expensive. By the way, it will be... nowadays they are planning to do Arc Academy online, not only courses, but the whole program. Which means you start the first year, you pay for the whole year, which is a lot, I know. And then you have classes with me for anatomy, you have classes with 2D drawing, concept art, you have classes with game design, you have a lot of different classes with different teachers, and all of the teachers actually are working in the industry, in the studios, so they are not some people who are theoretically knowing things. There are people who are practicing every day, which is the best thing. I mean, this is probably the best thing, yeah. And I am one of the teachers who are not working in the industry right now. But since I was working in this industry for 15 years, I think I'm okay. I think I'm fine. So you can count on me, it's fine. Don't worry. What advice can you give a 3D artist that loses motivation in sculpting and modeling and to be motivated enough for practicing every day? I don't know, you have to find your own motivation. Some people find motivation in money. Some people find motivation in just doing something from scratch. Is just amazing how you can do something from nothing, you know. And that's what motivates them. Like me, I was like this back in the days. That motivated me. And yeah, you have to find your own motivation. Some people who are very greedy can find motivation in money and thrive with it, which for me would be very difficult. Money, it doesn't motivate me that much, unfortunately. But some people can be motivated by money, like Conor McGregor, for example. He doesn't care about anything, he cares about money mostly. And he succeeded with that attitude. So it can be done, I guess. But for an artist, if you have artistic attitude, if you have artistic brain, probably it will be the best motivation would be just to be good, to be better in what you do, and to do nicer things every day. That should be your motivation, in my opinion. But of course, again, nobody can motivate you that much but yourself. I find motivation sometimes when I go to art stations, see what other people are doing, very nice things, beautiful stuff, and I'm like, wow, I have to get better, I have to up my game. So yeah, this gives you some kind of a perspective in life. I too study anatomy for science. Exactly. Will you be able to hollow it and they're okay? Nico, you should grow beard like God of War. I was growing beard some. If you find some of my older streams, I have some streams with beard, but I don't know which one. In the thumbnail, you will be able to see which one is mostly with beard. But there are some, definitely. Not exactly like the God of War, because I cannot handle it that much. At some point I say fuck it and I shave it. But yeah. But Nico, I procrastinate even from playing video games. I beat the story for a Batman game and now there's side quests, but I keep avoiding to play. What does it say about me? It say about you that too much phones and screens are taking their toll, in my opinion. Maybe you should go more to the nature just to see what's happening there. Walk to the mountains or the park, see other people. You know, when you get too much of these screens, it doesn't matter, games or TV series or whatever, you start to get too lazy, and I am like that, by the way, these days. I'm getting too lazy. These streams are very easy to make for me because it doesn't require any preparation from my side and anything. I just say, okay, I want to stream, and I sit, I turn on the camera, I turn on OBS, I write the name of the title of the video, and I start streaming. It's very, very easy for me to do this. And I know I will have people to watch me because I have the Discord server and there are a lot of people there. So yeah, for me this is easy. For many people it wouldn't be that easy probably. But okay, let's see what is happening here. We have ears, we have eyes. We are half an hour into this sculpt, which is great, and we should continue. So procrastinating is overall illness. Everybody has it. It's not only you or me or whatever. It's just amazing how everybody has it. She has some kind of a tumor here in her ear. I don't know why. But since AI don't exactly know what they're doing, This is probably because of the AI. And we are fine. We are completely fine. Let's do a cube and place it. Scale it down like this. Yeah, I'm doing the earring. Interesting type. I'm using the mouse right now. So I know many people will be asking in the chat, or at least a couple of guys, are you using a mouse or a tablet when you're doing this kind of things? And I would say for the sculpting part, I'm using a tablet. And for the modeling part, which is right now, I'm using the mouse because it's easier with the mouse. And yeah, hopefully nobody will ask, but if they do, this is the answer of those questions. Are you doing this with a mouse or a tablet? Are you crazy or yes? And stuff like this. Okay, let's move it a little bit. No. Okay. I pressed Z and then down, and this happened. But it's fine. We are fine. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm taking a little bit more time than I want to with this, but I guess it's fine. Since we have a lot of time, it will be fine. Mirror this. Mirror this. Mirror, mirror on the wall. And yeah. Looking cool. Now, we have more things to do. We have to color her. We have to do a little bit of her blouse and color. So we'll see. Just started resin printing, and I would love so much to have your talent to create my own means. I love your videos so much. I'm impressed. Thank you for your content. No problem. Thank you also for your comment. Hey Nico, how to study anatomy and practice it for sculpt, and how much time I needed every day to practice 3D sculpting. As with everything, you need as much time as you can put. If you can put 5 hours a day, put it. If you can put 6 hours a day, even better. If you can put 8 hours a day, 16 hours a day, 35 hours a day, put it. You know? The more time you can put a day, the better. Of course, 35 hours a day, as we know, will be a little bit difficult. But if you can do it, I would suggest that, yeah, you do it. 35, 36 hours a day should be sufficient. And you will get good very quickly. Many people are asking, how many years should I study or whatever. It's not about years, it's about hours, usually. So if you have, like many people are saying, 10,000 hours for a skill to get proficient in it, I would say 4,000 to 5,000 hours should be kind of enough. Maybe you don't need like 10. But if you have 10, it will be better, of course. So yeah, aim for that. Aim for 10,000 hours. Practice. Practice what you preach. This I have to say to myself, practice what you preach. This, by the way, seems very artificial, what I'm doing. But when we put the blackness there, and from the further away, it shouldn't look that bad, I would say. We'll see. This will be her color. And yeah, it will look pretty bad in the beginning. But hopefully we will be able to fix it at some point. And I know it will look bad because I already did it once. Yeah, she doesn't look quite like the concept as we see, but she doesn't look much worse than the concept, which is a win for me. Because usually with this kind of concepts, with this kind of beautiful girls, it's a win if you can make it look like a girl in the first place. So I think we are winning here, kind of, which is great. For this amount of time, I mean, I will always be able to make it look like a girl, but sometimes it takes more time. This time I was lucky, as I said. And again, I will say, don't think that you have to be super fast. No, you have to be super quality-wise nice, you know, make a good quality works, not super fast work. Fast works are only for YouTube streaming, maybe good, or for show off in some kind of events or whatever, yes. But for actual work, fast is not better than quality. You know, speed is not better than quality. Quality is always winning. Remember that. She has pretty long kind of a neck. Up tight. Let's see, we can do again with cylinder the other parts of her outfit. Like this. What was the thing that I had to do? I did something, I don't know. Okay, always safe. Sometimes when this circle appear, I'm horrified. When Blender starts to think, I'm horrified because I think that it will crash. These days Blender haven't crashed on me yet, but I guess it's always possible, so we have to be always aware of that, and we have to always save. Often. More often than never. So save often, guys, with Blender, with Photoshop, with 3D Max, with ZBrush, doesn't matter, save often if you don't want to get angry. If you want to practice your anger management though, you can not save at all. And then, when it crashes, you will have to concentrate on your breathing just to not crush your machine, your computer with an axe. But I guess this is also a good exercise, yes. So it's a fine exercise. Maybe you should do it, yes. I guess. Yeah, cool. Pozdrav, brate, iz Banja Luke. Banja Luke is in Serbia or where? I don't know. It just happened to me. Had to leave a sculpt for a month due to some work. When I got back, I was shocked at how bad it looked from what I remembered. Changed a lot and now it looks much better. Yeah, exactly. So in the beginning, when you not practice for a certain amount of time, in the beginning you will get very bad because the skill it deteriorates, like the muscles. Like when you are actively doing some sports and then you get good at it, and at some point you stop because of something for a while, for some months or even weeks, and then when you get back to this sport, you will be like, what the hell, I'm so bad at it. And the same with sculpting. It's something like a muscle, you know, if you don't train it, you will lose it. Slowly but surely. So now, Shift D, Z, move up, P, selection, Control Q, Alt Q I mean. And then we have our color. Which is not color, but it's color. Yeah, if I have to do it completely like the concept, I will have to spend a lot more time. I will just try to do it decent. Not completely like the concept. Just decent. Relatively nice. How much time do we have? 38 minutes into this, so we have to have time for a little bit of, you know, poly paint and maybe render, and we will be golden. Silence is golden, golden, but my eyes can see. Silence is golden, golden, but my eyes can see. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you see, I cannot shut up for even a second. I'm always blabbing about something, I'm always talking about something, because I know more than other people. Yeah, that's the ego talking, not me. Dear Nico, I'm trying to ditch ZBrush, but there are a few things that I couldn't solve. Yeah, but there were some things that I couldn't solve either, but I solved them somehow when I ditched ZBrush. So yeah, it depends what you're doing with ZBrush. For example, for my kind of work, which is mostly stylized or cartoon characters, maybe some monsters, maybe even some relatively realistic but game realistic characters, Blender is completely enough. It's super nice. If you are doing amazingly realistic characters, then probably Blender will not be exactly the program for you. But I'm just guessing, you know. Guesswork I'm doing. Okay, let's color, because we don't have too much time for blah 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 things. We should do the color. Okay, she has to be a little bit more white, as you probably can imagine. Now she's not. And this I will do by just going to the value, and not value, the brightness. Just, okay. This is better. Immediately. Now we will go with some kind of a more reddish tone. And touch the nose. Touch the cheeks. Touch a lot the ears. They have to be pretty red. And the mouth should be kind of reddish also. And we have red things around the eyes here. I don't know why. Then we will put some black things around the eyes also, so we will be fine, don't worry. If you're worrying, don't worry. Worry, 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 passing me by. Dun, 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 dun. This is from Fallout 4. Soundtrack. I guess it's not exactly from the Fallout 4 soundtrack. Before that it was just some kind of song, I guess. I'm not sure. There are not many songs that are written especially for the Fallout, or are there? I'm not sure. Probably there are some songs written exactly for the Fallout. Okay, again, more color. We will put this kind of a blackish brown color for the eyebrows. And for the eyelashes, maybe, we'll see. And when we do this and then this, then we can go and select the other color and just erase, and we'll be fine. A little bit more expressive I'm doing them. Yeah, they're not exactly like this. They should be a little bit smaller, those, but it's fine. Select this color again and make those little tiny... Oops, this is not the color. Thank you very much. Like this, it's fine. Yeah, the problem here is that it's very symmetrical. But I guess it's not a huge issue. Maybe. We should be able to take it. I don't know. By the way, we can make... I will show you now, at least I will try to show you how to make outline in the render and in the viewport, but it will be from the render, so we'll see. We have to go to the render at some time. These eyelashes, they have to be bigger and they have to go down like this, in front of her eyes a little bit. And then we should select this, find some kind of a blackish color, much darker, and then make things like this a little bit here. Let's see, okay. This one also should be nice. We'll fix that. I mean, this is awful, but we'll fix it again like this. Okay, she's looking awkward, but she will always look awkward. Now, the idea here is to do this. Ah, where is our color? This. Okay, and then this is shadow. Then we'll have the irises or whatever. And then we will have this kind of brownish color for here. Enough. And then we will have complete black for here. And then we will have a very much black for the shadow. The shadow, by the way, is underrated always. Many people don't do the shadow properly, and they are having problems. Now here we will put a little bit of this, so she can look a bit better. And she doesn't look quite super nice, but it is what it is. That's Savika. That's Savika. What do we say? Okay, I'm looking at the concept. Oh, this is very nice, by the way. This is some kind of a brain with eyes. Okay, sometimes this happens, you know. Sometimes we press buttons and then we don't know what we pressed. And then we are doomed. Forever. Yeah, with the colors, I don't completely like her that much. I was liking her without the colors a little bit more, probably. But I guess we'll have to deal with it. Let's make the blue hair, and we'll see what is happening. We don't have even 200 people watching right now, which is strange. The last time we had 200 and something. Now less than 200. Next time less than 100. No, we never have less than 100 people watching, which is great. I mean, ZBrush sessions where they sculpt, they do stuff. I think these days they have around less than 100 people. Sometimes 60 people watching, sometimes less. I don't know. It's just sad. Because ZBrush is amazing software, but I don't know. With Blender 2.7 or 2.8, when it came out back in the days, like 3 years ago, it just killed everything else, in my opinion. But the other programs, they just don't know it yet, that they're dead. But they will. I mean, at some point they will understand. They will say, okay, oh, we are dead. Okay. And they will accept it. What I'm doing now is I want to subdivide this. Maybe with some crease. And maybe one crease in here will be also nice, to be sharper. And then I will apply the subdivision, then I will go to the sculpt mode and I will just, you know, make sure it's like this. And then we will start coloring it because it's interesting to color it. It will be better to have colors, in my opinion. Okay, this is blue. Let's make all blue and then we will go from there. Then we will need some white here and there, probably. Like here we will need some white. Here we will have to go with a thinner brush, a little bit more blackish, like this. And we will start to do, we'll start to do this. Just to see what we can do. I haven't done this, by the way, in the previous trials. I'm just doing it now, because I think it will be better for the thumbnail of this video. Yeah, we're always thinking about, you know, the thumbnail and everything. And it's fine. Oh, as a creator, I have to think about the thumbnail, always. It's just my obligation. We cannot not think about the thumbnail. Let's see what kind of color we can choose here. Kind of a bright orange will be fine for some of those, just to have some variety a little bit. Nothing too much. Maybe here we will do it. Maybe some white in here, or at least brighter blue. And again this color in here. Yeah, it looks better, I think. And now we have to do some faking, which means we have to go with a darker kind of a color here to do this kind of things, just to look a bit better. This in the back, okay, I will deal with it like this. There are a lot of questions, but guys, I will finish this in, let's say 10 minutes. And then I will answer most of the questions from the chat. So don't worry, yes, I will answer questions from 10 minutes ago when I start. But I just want to kind of make this at least as good as I can be. It can be. It will not be as good as the concept, obviously. It probably will never be, but it will be at least relatively fine. Alright, let's see what we can do about her upper lip. It's a little bit too inflated in my opinion, so we might need to dial it down a bit. And here we will be able to put some darkness on her upper lip probably, but I will not do it. We can do it, but we will not. We should, but we will not. Or we will, we'll see. Sometimes I'm testing things, then I'm deleting them. Usually when I test something I leave it, because usually it gets better. But sometimes it doesn't, so we'll see. We may put a plane in here. What do we need this plane for? We need this plane for something which is not very important, but it will give a little bit more look to it, to look like the concept. So let's do it, why not? It's difficult to fix this in place, exactly what I wanted. But it's fine, we do it, no problem. These are those things that are coming from the earrings. I don't know what exactly are there, but it doesn't matter. It's something. And I will mirror it to the other side and I will put some color into it, which will be kind of a orangey color, like this. Why not? It's fine. Yeah, this is giving a little bit more of a look like it belongs to the concept and it's looking like the concept. I don't know. Something like this. Let's rotate the head, by the way, this way. Or, better off, we can rotate the outfit. So let's rotate the outfit. I think it will be better to rotate the outfit the other way, like this. Yeah, this is better. Now I will select the outfit. We have to select the outfit again and move it a little bit more on this side. And then we will select her head, disable the symmetry, and just move some things out of the way. Without symmetry. Yeah, her neck is a little bit twisted in the picture, so let's try to do it a little bit twisted like this. A little bit. And then we can move those things a little bit this way. Maybe even rotate them a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, she's not bad. Now, if we make a render, usually it will look worse than this, because we don't have time to do a proper render. But we might try, why not? So we go here, we add this. World. Hold on. And I got the world. Hold on. Come on. Now she's looking relatively fine, but when we put the material, which will be with color attribute, then she will look bad. But we will select everything and link materials, all the materials are here. Now we don't have a light, actual light, so we will put, let's say, yeah, let's say sunlight. Sunlight usually is fine. It will make a nice shadow. Our world is a little bit too much, I would say. Let's dial it down a bit. And the sunlight should come from the front portion, as it is right now. Her face should also have a little bit less roughness, so it's a bit like wet. I don't completely approve this, but whatever. Let's try to make this outline that we were talking about, this outline stuff. We have like 4 minutes to do the outline. I don't know if I will be able to do it, but let's try. So first we have to duplicate the head. Then we'll select it and we will go and inflate it a little bit. So Alt S and scale it a little bit so it's a bit bigger if we can. I'm not sure I will be able to. It's too much. This is too much. So Control Z. And let's try again. Okay, A. Alt S. Scale. Up. Up. Not down. It's scaling down. I don't know. Up. Now it's fine. Now, we have to go and assign a material to it, which will be a different material. So we will select... material, this one for example, and this will be, what is this material? No, this is not the material we want. We want a black material. We don't have a black material, so we will copy it, new material. I deleted it. Now it's black and backface cooling. Then everything is selected, Alt N, flip. And it should be fine. Yeah, we have an outline. Maybe we have to select this outline now and make it a little bit bigger. Let's try. Oops. Now Alt S, scale it. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit better with kind of a bigger outline. And as you can see, this is exactly and especially in the viewport. We have to do the same for the hair and other things in order to have outline for them. I don't care about that much. So yeah, if somebody cares about it, they might want to do it, but I don't. Now we can go to the render itself, color management, and here to go with medium contrast, it's medium high contrast. I think this is better, a little bit better, and we can put a white plane behind, which means like this. Scale it, put it back, scale it more. Now if the plane is not exactly white, as it's not right now, what I can do is just put another light, select this light, Shift D, move it here, make it area light, scale it down, and make it 5000. So it will lit the background a lot. And now we have a white background. Yeah, this is a fake thing somehow, but I think it's working, so it's fine. Contact shadows on, and yeah, that's kind of it. But no, we need this thing on the back to go a little bit more up. This on the hair to be visible a little bit more, and then to put a little bit more detail on it. And we will get a little bit over an hour probably, because we are almost at an hour mark right now. But I'm relatively happy with our result here. It's not the best, it's not the worst. As always, it's just some kind of a middle ground. between the best and the worst. Okay, 1 hour. Thank you very much. Now, let's see what kind of questions we might have in the chat. We're done here with this. By the way, let's see. Now in the normal viewport, it doesn't look well because we have this kind of a interesting mesh, which is inverted. And if we remove it, she will look fine. But this mesh, let's name it in inverted head outline. So we know that we have this, and if we need to remove it, just to make a shot like this, if we want, we can put outline with it here. Alright. Yeah, she doesn't look quite like the concept, but as I said, it's difficult. The chin, by the way, we can make it a little bit smaller, and maybe, but now it will be issue. Why? Because we have the inverted head, and it's difficult to select the actual head, by the way, right now. So I will disable the inverted head. I will select the actual head. I will move the chin up, so it's a little bit smaller. Although we need to do it with the symmetry, it will be better. And now if we put the inverted head, probably the outline here will be a little bit too much. But since it's in the bottom here of the chin, I don't think it's a super bad thing, this thick outline. Maybe we can select the inverted head and also move it a little bit so it will fit. It doesn't look quite bad. I mean, even in some places like the bottom of the ears, we can make it thicker, this outline, by just making the inverted head a little bit bigger there. And here we can do it under the nose also. Here we can do it. Very nice. Something like mustaches. We can do a lot if we want. If we don't want, we will not do a lot. Okay, we can make a shot like this, Sometimes the front shot is not looking very good. In this case, it's looking relatively fine. In some cases, the front shot is the worst shot you can do for your character because it's not that interesting. But this time it looks quite well. So yeah, I will lighten it up a little bit so it looks more like the concept, and we should be fine with it. I mean, why shouldn't be? We should be fine, right? Shouldn't we be fine? We should be fine. Okay, looks good to me. Let's see. The transform gizmo is sculpt mode seems to not allow changing the orientation. Is there any changing the orientation? I don't know. Yeah, the transform gizmo is not that flexible in Blender. In ZBrush it's a little bit more flexible, but it's cool. By the way, her earrings are black, which I don't like, so I will change that. Let's change it. White. And this thing also white. Okay, good. Now it's ready. Good. Very good. Almost 200 people watching. Very good. Nikolai, can you please recommend any course material on stylized character with topology for animation? Yes, I have a course like this, which is Captain Phoenix. You can find it in the description of the video, but let me show my courses. Of course, this is time for our sponsor, which is myself, because I don't have a sponsor. Our sponsor is Nikolai Naidanov. His works are very nice. He has also a lot of courses, and the course that you want to watch is this one, which is a full 3D game character absolute beginner's course. This is absolute beginner course that it will teach you ZBrush, it will teach you Blender, it will teach you Substance Painter. Maybe not as well as the particular courses that are for ZBrush, Blender and Substance Painter, but enough to make this particular character, which is low poly, and it's ready for animation, in my opinion. So this is the answer. Nikolai Naidanov is a very good artist. He has other courses also. The last course he did is this Dragon Girl course, by the way. It's pretty cool. Maybe we can see the dragon girl in action in his profile. It will be better. I'm talking to myself now as in third person, which is interesting. But the dragon girl figurine is sitting just behind my camera in the back, and it's just superb. It's just very, very nice. So cool. I was suspecting it will be nice, but it will be even nicer when it's printed a little bit bigger and it's colored by one of the best colorers in Bulgaria, which he colored some of my figurines. It will be just a gem, a piece of art. Now it's also pretty cool. So yeah, if you want to know how to do this girl, of course, you can try my course, Dragon Girl in Blender course. This interesting but complicated. So if you are a Blender beginner, I don't recommend it. I recommend either this one with the rabbit or this one with the mouse just behind me with the mouse. You cannot see my pointer. Ah, it's here. Okay, yeah, with the mouse. Okay, unlike me, every time I see people work, I feel very useless to them and lose hope more. But it's only you can kind of change this by changing yourself. It's difficult to change yourself, but by reading some books and making some exercises, I'm sure that you can do it. You know, we all have our traumas from the childhood. Many people that understand things, they say that everything in our lives, how we react to things, how we do things, comes from our childhood. So you have to find the things there. And many of you are young and still closer to your childhood, and you can remember things from the childhood. You can make retrospective and see how you felt. Were you loved enough? Were you shown love from your parents, affection? Or have you had to be something else in order for them to love you more? At least that was the illusion that you think, that if you change yourself, if you are more obedient, if you are nicer, if you do more things, if you have better grades in school, maybe your parents will love you more. Usually that doesn't happen, but children, they always have this kind of a mechanism to protect themselves, and they kind of turn it on, and they think that if they do those things, their parents will love them more. But their parents, if they are selfish, and usually they are, I'm sorry to say that, but I'm pretty certain that around like 60-70% of all parents are selfish, and they want to just feel good by themselves. They wish the best for their children, yes, but they don't know how to achieve it. They do all the things they do are for their benefit. So they are making the child obey, so they then get angry, so they have more relaxed time raising their child, not for the good of their child. No, it's only for their own good, and most of the parents do that, and that's acceptable in many cultures. But it doesn't mean that their children will be better prepared for life and they will be better persons. That's not exactly similar, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, let's yeah, this is our sponsor Nikolai, and I don't know if he's giving us money for this, what we do. Okay, Nico, I just ordered a book, Form of the Head and Neck for Sculptors. Maybe you know this book and can tell me some of your opinion. This is from Anatomy for Sculptors, I guess, and it's a pretty useful book if you look at it often. If you just have this book in your shelf, it will not help you anyhow. I mean, you have to use it. After like 2 years, this book has to look like something very badly messed up, because you have used it that much, in my opinion, you know. Elizabeth Olsen has a very unique nose and very difficult to sculpt, in my opinion. When certain person have a unique feature on their face, in my opinion, it's easier to make likeness, you know. If their face is more like average, then it's more difficult. I'm somehow faster at sculpting on mouse, but slower on tablet, lol. Yeah, probably, but usually not. Wow, where are we now? Okay, let me just go back to the last comment that thank you for answering inspiration. Unlike me, every time I see okay, Elizabeth Lawson, I'm somehow faster at sculpting on mouse. Mouse sculpting would hurt the wrist so much. Yeah, it will hurt the wrist, and it's not the appropriate way, proper way to sculpt. If you have a tablet, just get used to it. And that's my only advice that I can give you at all. Everybody will ask all the time, if I work with mouse, it's better to sculpt with mouse or a tablet. And I always will say, tablet is the best way. And that's it. Let's saturate her a little bit more. I think it's better if we can select the head, actual head. By the way, it's not very easy. Not inverted head, but the head inside. No, we can't. Why? I don't know. Ah, now I selected it. It was difficult. But now we can make a little bit more saturated. Not saturated, saturated. Not saturated, super saturated. A little bit less saturated. Saturated. Okay, good. And probably a little bit fix the lighting, because I think it could be a little bit better. Yeah, this way. Again, it could be better than this, but for 1 hour it's relatively the best we can do for now. 42 hours a day. Yeah, usually 42 hours a day will do the thing. Will do the trick for a while. Nico, what do you think about using modifier decimate to make character low poly? Not a good idea at all. Decimate isn't with a... yeah, it's not a good idea. What would the process be to redo the topology on a model like this for animation? Like this for animation, you have to open the mouth a little bit so you can make inner side of the mouth. You have to make teeth. You have to make proper eyelashes, because I did it just for the stream now. The eyelashes are awful. We have to make them separate mesh, better looking. Probably the eyebrows would be better to be separate mesh too. And retopologize everything with a good topology. Yeah. Love the detailed explanation and tips sharing. Thank you, Real Illusion. By the way, Real Illusion, is it that? Yeah. They contacted me and wanted to talk about some kind of collaboration and stuff, but they didn't answer back after that. At least I don't think they answered. Maybe I lost the mail. Who knows? Something happened. I don't know. I don't have a clue about 3D sculpting. Just a guy watching from the outside world. LOL. Is it always common to sculpt with mirroring the other side? Yes, of course. Or do you do it to save time for the stream? No, it's always first when we sculpt. We always sculpt with symmetry. That's how we are much faster than the traditional sculptors with symmetry. Without symmetry, we will be as slow as them. Maybe not as slow, but pretty slow. Invisible water bottle scary. Is it invisible? Let me see. I haven't seen. Oh yes, it's kind of invisible. Yeah. At least half of it. It's invisible. Magic. Sorry, Nico, but if you paint your model with the sculpt tools, the texture still if you export the model. Okay, I guess this question is if the texture will remain when I export the model. This is not a texture, this is polypaint, which means every polygon or every vertex, it's a vertex paint actually. Every vertex can have some color. And this is all about the vertices. If you have more vertices, you will have more resolution to paint. This you can transfer to a low poly. On the low poly you should have UVs and everything. And you can transfer it by baking it. So it's possible. This is not for nothing, you know. I always kind of paint my high polys like this. And then I transfer this as a texture to the low poly. Nico, you improved so much since you do streaming of speed sculpting. Am I right? I guess maybe a little bit, but so much? I don't think so much. Hi from Belarus. I like your work. You work so fast. It's cool. It's a pleasure to watch and listen to you. Do I listen to your videos to learn English? Thanks for the clear speech. I don't think my English is on that level, so you can learn from it. So I'm not an English teacher in any way. But of course, my accent is very close to any Slavic accent, I guess. So Russian, Belarusian, Slovakian, Polish, Serbian, of course, Macedonian. All those people, we are speaking the same, similar dialect of English, usually. Except for the people that are trying even more, and they can speak better without this kind of a thick accent. But I don't, it's fine. Hi Nico, did you watch the Fallout TV show? I haven't yet. I guess I am afraid to watch it. Many people say it's very nice and everything, but since I'm a huge fan of the games, I've played Fallout 1 back in the days. Fallout 2 was the first game I played. Fallout 2, around the year 2000, I played it, a little bit after it came out. And then I played Fallout 1, then when the Fallout 3 came out, I played it, I liked it. I haven't played Fallout Tactics that much, by the way. Nobody did, so it's fine. Then I played Fallout New Vegas, then I played Fallout 4 and everything. I haven't played Fallout 76 though, but it doesn't matter. So the idea is that I am a little bit afraid to watch it since I'm a big fan. Sometimes when you are a big fan of something, like Star Wars, there are big fans of Star Wars, and when a Star Wars movie came out, people are like, oh no, this movie sucks. But I like it because I'm not a huge fan of the Star Wars, you know. And when the movie came out, I like it because it's fun. For the Fallout, I'm afraid. So I will see. Can you make 3D portrait? I will pay for the job. Yeah, some guy, which is a Bulgarian guy, he is asking, can you make me a 3D portrait? I will pay for the job. Yes, probably, but I'm not exactly the guy you are looking for. I have a friend who specializes on sculpting likenesses. Likeness sculpting is so you can make the sculpt look like exactly like a human, like somebody, and he specialized in that. He is doing mostly that. I'm doing mostly game things, from working from concept. I can do something that resembles a certain person, but in order to do it properly and in order to do it correctly, I would need a lot of reference material, which means photographs from the side, from the front, usually with a not so much focal length. So with a phone it will be difficult unless it's from afar, because from a close-up everything will be distorted too much for a good reference. So a lot of things, and also, as I said, I'm not a specialist on this. Interesting way, and also it will be pretty expensive. For example, if somebody wants me to do a portrait, a 3D portrait of him, so he can 3D printed it, for example, because he likes his face so much, he wants to have it in his grave or in his desk or whatever. I've seen graves with people kind of heads on top of them, statues, which I find it a little bit kind of selfish or narcissistic or whatever, but I don't judge. It's fine. It will be at least, I don't know, for a proper thing, especially with hair, which has to be sculpted, it could be more than $300. So yeah, it could be more. Yeah, definitely. Interesting way to make eyelashes. Yeah, I would say interesting, not the right way, but it's for this purpose it works. What would you recommend is the best way to find freelance project in 3D sculpting? There is no best way now, as I know. I don't know a best way now, because now nobody gets too much freelance. Just the economics of the world are like this right now. Last time I rotated eyes correctly, it looks work perfectly when the eyes are not lined correctly. Okay. Sub bro, hello. Many people are free user here. Everybody's free user. Because Blender. You can pick the color on your reference. When it's transforming an arrow, press enter and you have the color. So here you see, you mean like this, and press enter and have the color. Let's try it. Maybe it's right, maybe it's not. We are on this, and we want to see this color. Enter. Click, enter. No. Okay, since this reference is from PureRef, I would be very surprised if you can select the colors from it, from Blender. But I guess some people know some ways which don't work. Greetings from Russia. Hello, Russia. Is it worth the headache of learning ZBrush or just keep practicing in Blender? The UI and navigation is so clunky coming from Blender. Yes, I know, but you will get used to it if you like it. ZBrush is definitely a little bit better sculpting program. Not too much better, but better. And if you have access to ZBrush, I will recommend learn it and use it at least as much as Blender, because it will help you when you search for a job afterwards. I'm learning digital 2D to get better in anatomy, shapes, colors. I'm already finish in 3D. I'm hoping 2D will improve my 3D. Am I wasting my time? No, you're not. When you are learning anatomy and shapes, you can do it in 2D, but of course, if you want to be better in 3D, I guess it will be better to do it in 3D. You are very good, Evala. Evala is something that we use here in Bulgaria, but it's Turkish word. Evala, aferim, mashallah, and other things that we say. Even in Bulgaria, we say those things when we want to congratulate someone. It's very nice. This is very nice. Evala, mashallah, aferim, something like this. Because we have a lot of Turkish words in our language, even in Bulgarian language. Hi Nico, I pick Lobo course. My model is better than you. Maybe better than me. Yes, that's not very difficult. But better than my model, that I want to see, you know. I love what you're doing here, man. Thank you. How many Blender tricks do you forget about on the regular? I don't know. Is Blender like a medium that's just perfect for perfectionists? Yes, everything is perfect for perfectionists. Perfectionists are perfect with everything. Thanks for doing this model I suggest on Discord. Ah, you suggested this one. Yeah, it's a pretty good one for practice purposes. It's pretty nice to kind of practice your female head anatomy and shapes. It's kind of unusual. It's kind of usual that when you're working in a company, you use the tutorial from YouTube to get good results. Yes, of course, you can use everything possible to get good results. Or is it like leads or director require enough experience to do it without any help? No. Even leads or art directors, those are the people who have to learn the most, because they have to control the whole process and they have to know everything, or at least the most. So they constantly are looking for tutorials and looking for other knowledge. They're asking even other people if they don't know something. If, of course, they are good in their job. The leads, I mean, and the art directors. Nico, you can shrink wrap the invert and inflate again to your desire. Probably. But do I want to do it? I think this is one of your best speed sculpts I've seen. Yeah, but have you seen all of them? Because I have like Hulk, Goro. Goro is pretty good for hour and a half. It's just, I would say probably Goro is the best, because judging by the views, Goro have more than 600,000 views, and that speaks a lot. I mean, when people see the thumbnail of Goro, they say, wow, this is for 1 hour and a half. Let's see if this guy is cheating or something. And they go through the timeline and say, oh, this guy is actually doing it. Oh, very nice. So they watch it, or kind of watch it. So amazing result. Thank you, guys. Everybody's saying amazing good. Somebody should say that it's nice, but not the best, which is what I usually say. How vulnerable you are to habits? Very. Everybody is vulnerable to habits. I cannot say this word. Vulnerable. Vulnerable to habits. Yeah, habits are everyone's weak point, and if you want to get good with habits, you have to make good habits. And to make good habits, you have to practice something that could turn to a habit for at least 40 days, people say. 40 days and then it will turn to a habit. I don't know. Hey Nico, I love your art and process. I'll be doing some of your courses soon as I start to learn sculpting. Very good. I have finished this course. Yes. Wanna know how to make some big bucks as an artist? I want to know too. Yes. Nico giving his followers an existential crisis. Capitalism and religion neurosis. How do you do the texture painting? This is vertex paint, it's called, and you do it in sculpt mode in Blender. You have a brush, and you just choose your color and do it. Do you have your PureRef file saved somewhere, and you can share with us? Yeah, of course I have it, and but this file actually is from my arm and hand anatomy course. Most of the things are from there, and there are other things that I've put after that. This is for one of the freelances that I did last year, because this year there's no freelance. As I said, this one I should do someday. It's very interesting, but this for 1 hour will be very difficult. Maybe just the head like this, but the whole thing probably for a course. By the way, this I want to show you something, guys. This is from, I think this was from one of my friends. He's Bulgarian guy, Ivan Kuritarev. He's a very good in this kind of artworks, like cartoonish style, very interesting. And now he has a YouTube channel, and let me show you a little bit of his first video in his YouTube channel. I just want to make advertisement. Since he's a little bit shy, and he doesn't want to show himself in the camera, he makes animation, and that's how he presents his video.
But trust me, it's me. Or is it? It's me. Yep, let's just go with it. So, Ivan, to introduce myself, I am a draw person. I draw, paint, and whatever else is there, I like to draw. This corner of the tubular video library is mine.
As you can see, his channel is pretty new. He has only one video, this one. This is his introduction. Ivan's Crazy Corner is the name of the channel. He has 38 subscribers already. He had created this channel like yesterday or 2 days ago, I'm not sure. It's very new. But it's amazing how he can create this kind of thing. And this is his voice. He's voice overing his animations. And that's how he planned to do videos in the channel. With this guy, which is his avatar. And he will talk and the avatar will be on the screen. And we are seeing here his real face at some point.
That's great. I look like
this is him.
And that's the last time we'll talk about.
He doesn't want to show himself, that's the idea. But it's fine, I mean, it's very cool. I like it a lot. So we have to support this kind of very creative people that we have. This is his work also. He's good. At least I think it was his work. And maybe I could do a course on this. It's pretty cool, right? I would say, yeah. There are a lot of things in this file, but most of this file, especially this inner portion here with anatomy and everything, is inside the arm and hand anatomy exercises course. By the way, for one of the next streams, I should do this. It's pretty cool. This is from another of my friends from Bulgaria also. I have many artist friends, I would say. A lot. Only they understand me, you know, since we are all artists. I think that Nikolai will soon release courses not only about sculpting, but also about psychotherapy. Yes, probably, but not soon, because I have to learn a lot more and I have to figure the things inside my head a little bit more. Now they are a little bit mixed. We'll see. Options on Pierrick Picot, currently going through its Alive animation course. It's amazing. I don't know, I don't do animation too much, so I cannot say. Nico, what channel would you recommend on YouTube? I just showed you the channel of this friend of mine. Hopefully he will upload more, I mean frequently. Hopefully once, at least twice every month, because this, making it at animation and everything, it requires time and effort, and I don't know, but hopefully. Nico, you can use emissive material on the background instead of using a light only for the background. Yeah, I know, but the light is working, right? And also with the light, you can make it like just about just behind your character to have light, and then after, as you can, I will show you. It will be interesting. Let's see if we can show it. So we can dial it down, and then we can move it back. Not so much. No, probably it should be with the spotlight, yes. And the size of it, okay. And the band like this. Okay, clip start, clip end, bias. I don't know, but probably it will be difficult to do it. But we can do something like this, you know. A little bit more light just behind the head, and then it kind of goes away. Just an idea, you know, just an interesting kind of an idea. It's amazing to see the result in 1 hour. It took me more than 3 hours. Yeah, if I have to do it properly, probably it will take me more, but for this amount of time it's fine. Nico, the eyes are too separated. Probably yes. Use Toon Shader, Nico. I don't use too much Toon Shader, so I don't know how to use it. What's the difference to make character between animation and for game? It's not that different. I mean, for animation, it probably can be a little bit more polygons, so it's more smooth overall. But other than that, it's similar. As a fan of the games and it's someone who shared the same worries, the Fallout show really feels like it belongs in the universe. That's very cool. Fallout 76 is so bad. I don't know, many people say in the beginning Fallout 76 was bad when it came out, and now it's much better. Hey Nico, I spent last year sculpting several hours each day, improved a lot, but feeling a bit burned out after a disappointing result on a challenging project. Any advice on how you handle burnout? I don't handle burnout. You know, burnout, what is burnout? When you work too much for a prolonged period of time, at some point you probably will burn out. The only thing that I would recommend is to stop for a while. Probably for a week, if you can. If you can't, just try to dial it down a little bit on the caffeine. I mean, don't drink too much coffee. And just sleep more if you can. That's it. Have you seen the figures of Dark and Darker? It's dungeon crawler game and the models are so cool. No, I haven't. Nico, one big struggle I've had in Blender compared to ZBrush is masking tools. Any tips on mask lasso and mask adjustment in Blender? It's similar to ZBrush. In ZBrush it's a little bit better, a little bit easier. But in Blender it's kind of similar, and in my opinion, with a little bit more effort, probably you will be able to, you know, you have to get used to it. It's just that. I 100% would have a headstone that was just my head and a plaque. Headstone, yeah. This is my headstone. Get it? Headstone, headstone. Okay, good. Hi Nico, I love your videos. Greetings from Argentina. Hello. Can I ask what is your friend account? What's my friend account? I don't know what you're talking about. But because the comments I'm reading now were from a couple of minutes ago, I guess. I went from Blender 4 years to ZBrush and I don't regret it. That's cool. Yeah, normally it's working. Maybe it's not in sculpting, sculpting mode. Maybe. Oh man, I'm late. Do you think polypaint in ZBrush and vertex paint in Blender is the same? Yes. It's the same because polypaint in ZBrush is vertex paint. Actually, they call it polypaint, but it's actually a vertex paint, so it's absolutely the same. Holy moly, it looks good. Thank you, it doesn't look exactly like the concept, but it's looked relatively fine. Big fan, I purchased your course from Udemy, it's amazing, currently doing a head a day. That's very good, I like doing heads actually. Hi Nico, I started a few months ago sculpting Blender, I took your Demon Hunters course. Everything is doing great, but for a job, will I need to learn ZBrush to work in industry or get a job? Probably yes. But first, before you learn ZBrush, because ZBrush is just a software. Yeah, maybe many people say it's horrible UI and everything, but it's just a software. You can learn it for a month if you kind of practice every day for at least like 5-6 hours. For 1 month you will be good enough in ZBrush. But sculpting and anatomy and everything that you need to know, actually you can learn by sculpting in Blender. It's not a huge issue. Did you do mentorship where I can get constant reviews on my sculpts? You can check out the Discord server. Many people are answering there. They are good artists, you know. Some people are very close to my level, maybe even better. I don't know anymore. I'm just a little bit afraid to check them out too much. They're too good. But in the Discord, you can, you can try it. Link in the description of this video. I met you after that video with Goro. Okay. Here I got very good at sculpting, but I'm very bad at topology. Do you have any tips for me? I have one tip for everybody who is bad at something. Practice that thing. If you are bad at retopology, practice retopology. If you are bad at sculpting, practice sculpting. If you are bad at sculpting legs, practice sculpting legs. If you don't practice something, you will never be good at it. I promise you that. Which sculpting tool you like the most, ZBrush or Blender? Blender, of course. Yeah, I was using ZBrush and I was swearing to ZBrush. I was a huge ZBrush fan. But then Maxon came out, also Blender became better, and I decided to switch to see if it will work, and it works. So now I am much more Blender oriented than, yeah. Are you super good on texturing? No, I am very moderately good at texturing. I want to find a French artist that can speak Russian or Ukrainian in my city, but I don't meet anybody yet. Yeah, you have to go to a certain place where those kind of artists gather, which usually are some kind of academies, some kind of schools, and there you can find souls, common souls like yours. Thanks for the lightning tip, Nico. I had not considered using it like that. Sculpt looks like a girl from the recent Ghostbusters movie. Yeah. Their 3D models and styles is too good, man. With the darkest dungeon, good. Not the bank account, I guess. Nico, about your friend who is sculpting real people. Ah, about my friend who is sculpting real people. His name is Ivailo Ivanov. Let me show you his art station if I can find it. Why do I have to do this now? Art station. Okay, I closed the art station. So I will open art station. And I will try to find Ivailo Ivanov. Okay. Search artists. Ivailo Ivanov. We cannot find it. I actually cannot quite find... Ah, I think I did it. Yes. This is his account, Ivailo Ivanov. And he is also Brad Pitt, as you can see. Hi, I'm Brad Pitt. But he's doing pretty well on the likenesses. Especially this, I think this is my favorite work from him, Jon Snow. He has done a great job on the likeness. And this is real time in Marmoset. So he's doing... This is his boxing coach. Very good job also. This is, of course, Angelina Jolie. Pretty nice. This is Levski. One of the Bulgarian heroes. Very good job. This is the guy from The Boys. Pretty good job. I mean, this is what he does. This is what he's good at. I'm not exactly that good with these things. So yeah, I would recommend him. She looked like an Italian actress from an era. Nico, what do you think it takes to be art director in games? It takes... I think it takes a lot of... not practice, but yeah, practice of course, but experience. For example, I can be art director now with my experience because in order to be art director, you have to. I think the best way to become a good art director is to be under the wing of a very good art director for time. So, for example, 5 years you were working below a very good art director. He is giving you a lot of feedbacks and you see the things and you start to see the things better. And at some point, yourself could be ready for an art director even. Do Blender guys know that Blender Market is giving away free stuff this week? Free stuff, yeah, let's go. Я в Полша живу, братък. Тичам, занимаваш се въобще. Можеш то въобще... Можем познакомиться. In Poland you are living. Okay, good. Poland is close to Ukraine. I think it's close, yeah. Many people from Ukraine are, going to Poland. They just don't like the war, which is absolutely fine. I don't like the war too. But you will say nobody likes the war. That's not true. There are people who are thriving in a war. Yes, some of them are dying because they go to war, but they just like to do this kind of things. A little bit of sociopaths and psychopaths and stuff like this. Wow, so realistic work. This is not exactly the realistic work. Of my friend, yeah, it's realistic, his work. What will be the next course, Nico? I don't know yet. Okay, they're speaking Ukrainian here. Nico, do you have any tips on getting more clients for freelance? I don't have any tips. One tip, just have an amazing portfolio. If you have an amazing portfolio and more followers, you will have better chance of having nice, having freelance as a whole. But the problem is that these days freelance is scarce. Not many people are, willing to give money for games because the overall inflation and people are losing their jobs. So those people who were giving money for games back in the days, like 2 years ago, now just want to survive. They want to take their money and buy food with it so they can survive. So that's why nowadays it's difficult. But as I said, if you use this time, couple of years, let's say this year and the next one will be bad. But after that, things probably will change for the better. And then, if you have used this time, this and next year, for developing your skills, making a better portfolio, making very nice artworks, then probably at the end you will be okay, I will guess. Who knows? Okay, guys, have you tried sculpting yourself? Yes, but it doesn't work quite well because I haven't tried very hard. Keep doing. You make sculpting look much easier from Pakistan. Yeah, this is double-edged sword. If I make sculpting look easier, because people will think that it's very easy, they will start trying to do it, they will fail, and they will say this is shit, and they will quit. But yeah, it's fine, I guess. What do you think about Black Moot Wukong? I don't know about it. About Goro, have you played Mortal Kombat? Yes, of course. I was playing Mortal Kombat 1, then Mortal Kombat 2, then Mortal Kombat 3. Then I had I had Sega console, which I bought from the money that I made while working in the seaside. I was cleaning dishes actually, so I was washing dishes because dishwashers were not a huge thing back then, and I was washing dishes, and I get enough money to buy a Sega console with the Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate game. Amazing times. Because the internet was not a thing back then. It was 1997, 1998, something like this. So around 26 years ago, and the internet was not so popular in Bulgaria back then, and I didn't have anywhere to learn the fatalities and everything, so I had this book notebook, And I was trying. Every time I beat somebody with certain character, I will try to press a button. And if it starts to do the fatality, I will press another button after that, and it usually stops. So I write the first button. Then I will do the test with the second button, then with the third. And with like a couple of 100 tries, I was getting the fatalities of many of the characters, and I was writing them down. Yeah, it was good times. How can we find the love if we spend so much time sculpting? Hehe. Yeah, that's a very, very good question. You cannot find the love, actually, except if you search it online, which usually can happen. My wife, I found her online. Sometimes you can do this. I mean, yeah. Nico, can you do the video interview like you did with Gabriel? Ah, with this guy, Ivailo. So, yeah, probably I can. But you will see that his English is much better than mine. His English is like you're listening to a native English speaker. His English is just amazing, and I'm a little bit afraid because he will. I mean, my English will look like village English, you know. It will be, but maybe we can do something like this with him. Nico, if a student of yours ever make it big as an artist, can they meet you in Bulgaria to have a drink? Odd fantasy, I know, no problem. I would always be glad to have a drink like a beer or even a juice with anybody, if they are in Bulgaria, of course, or if I go to their country. Let's see, I plan to go to Greece in the end of August, probably. So if somebody from Greece want to go to Halkidiki and meet me, I'm there. Other than that, probably in the spring I will go to Thailand again because I like it so much, but I don't have plans yet for that. I'm just guessing. Sega, yeah. Like from Brazil, very nice, thank you. The best times back in the days, yeah. Mortal Kombat. Scorpion is my favorite character in Mortal Kombat. I don't know which one is my favorite exactly character. I know in Tekken, Yoshimitsu was my favorite. In Mortal Kombat, I guess I liked a lot of them. Many. +1 for the beer. Good. Hello Nico, I've been sculpting for over a week now, but I can't seem to learn the materials. Do you have any advice on how to best study them? Where to start? You don't need to start the materials. You need to start with sculpting. And when you sculpt for a couple of months, every day, then you will start to get things. And also watch videos, watch courses, lessons in YouTube. Everything is fine. It is AI. Yeah, the concept probably is AI. Will you visit Spain? I have been in Spain, by the way. In the southern Spain I was. And I plan to visit it again because Spain is very nice. I like it, and I like the food. I like everything. Also, my wife knows Spanish, so we can get very well there, even without English. Even if the people don't know English, she will speak to them in Spanish, so it's very cool. What about visit Brazil? I was in Brazil back in the days. 7 years ago, I think I was in Brazil. Even Facebook were giving me pictures from where we stayed in Rio de Janeiro, in the favela above Copacabana beach. It was amazing. Amazing view from the favela, from the house. On the roof, there were these hammocks when you can lay down and relax and watch Copacabana beach in the bottom and everything. And we see Ipanema also from there. We see the Jesus Christ from the other side, from this favela. It was amazing. Okay. When you go to Philippines, we got the finest beers. I definitely want to go to the Philippines. It's one of my dream destinations, by the way. But we usually restrain of going to the Philippines because we like the Thai food so much in Thailand. That's why we go to Thailand. And also it's a little bit more familiar for us to go to Thailand since we already have done this twice. But maybe Philippines, it's pretty cool, yeah. Nico, when I study at home, I regret that I don't go to holiday. But when I go to a holiday, I want to go home and sculpt. What do I do? I'm the same, so it's nothing abnormal. It's fine. I've just arrived to the live. Is it AI concept image created by you or it was created by someone else? It was created by somebody else. I just receive it in the Discord server let me show you in the suggestions for streams. Here, people are suggesting what I should stream. Like this tiger, for example, would be very nice for a live sculpt. For hour and a half, 2 hours. This one probably not so much because it's pretty complex. This squirrel, it will not be a very good 3D model in my opinion. It has a lot of strange things going on. But somewhere here we have this girl, which is AI. This also is pretty cool. AI again, I guess. And we cannot guess, we have to look at the arms. You see? Yeah. Ernesto Alonso suggested this one. And yeah, a lot of people suggesting here, and I sometimes just choose something which is clean and nice for sculpting. This tiger is pretty cool. Maybe it will be the next week challenge. We don't know. We'll see. And the weekly sculpt challenge is again this girl. And as you can see, not a bad job from a lot of people. This one is pretty cool, by the way. I like it. Clean forms, very nice and good anatomy. Very good. This one is not so good, but again, everybody has their own kind of a level of sculpting. Some people are not in a huge level, some people are a little bit better, some people are a lot better, which is absolutely okay, because it usually depends on how much time people have devoted to do this, I mean to sculpt. If you have devoted just 5 hours in your lifetime, then you will be bad. But if you have devoted, like this guy for example, thousands of hours or at least hundreds of hours, you will get good, definitely. Pretty cool. I mean, yeah, pretty cool stuff. A lot of people have chosen to do this challenge because it looks simple, since it's only a head, but it's not quite. This one is pretty nice. It's not quite the best. This one looks a little bit older, and this is my second try that I did in the Discord server. Sometimes I do Discord server streams in this Discord server that I have, and I do streams there, which is very nice because I relax. I mean, when I have to practice for a live stream like this one, I go to the Discord server, start stream, announce it to everybody, I'm streaming here in Discord, you're welcome, and I put some music because here we cannot put music. I mean, I cannot put Rammstein right now and sculpt because they will, you know, delete the video, most likely. Please come to Bali, Indonesia. I have to. There are so many places that a person have to visit these days. I don't know. If I'm not able to apologize even with the free trial on the quad mesher and I don't want to buy it, do you think it's a good option to learn how to apologize by hand? If so, can you suggest a course? Yes, of course. So the idea is that apologizing with the quad remesher is fine to a certain point. If you have to do a whole character with clothes, armors, and whatever, you have to do it by hand, because most of the things have to be in one mesh. With the quad remesher, you cannot do that. With the quad remesher, you can retopologize only one mesh, and that's it. You see how this guy has triangles on his belly, and many people are saying, how can you put triangles there? It's anathema, you're the devil. But actually in the game he's looking pretty well. Why? Because triangles are not exactly problems, especially where something's not moving too much. Like in the belly here, this belly is moving a little bit when he's breathing or something, but it's not too much. If the triangle is here, or around his fingers, or around his mouth when it's opening and closing, maybe there can be some artifacts, but it's not a problem. So this course is for creating a 3D game character in Blender. Link in the description for all my courses you can find. And this course is for Blender to create this character from scratch, from zero, from a sphere up to a kind of a ready for retopologizing, not for retopologizing, ready for rigging and animation. This is the end result of this course, and it's looking cool, and it's in the game right now because this is an actual character for actual game. It's in the game. I even can show you. Why don't I show you right now the character in the game? Hopefully there will be no updates for this game since I haven't launched it for a while. I don't play it that much anymore. I've played it when I made around half of the characters for this game, because I did make half of the characters. At least the 3Ds, because there are concepts which are pretty nice, and then we do the 3Ds. This is a character that I did, but this exactly what they show here is the concept. And in here we can find the actual heroes. For example, we have this guy. This is not made by me, it's from my colleague. This is made by me, this character. This also is made by me, a very cool character, by the way, with a lot of fur. It's interesting how to make fur. This was not made by me, this is made by me. This is one of my favorite characters, by the way. It's pretty cool looking, it has nice texture. The texture, I made the texture to a certain point, and then I gave it to the 2D artists, and they refine it here and there, put some little details, and they made it look better. Like now. And then this is my character, this is my character. This is my character. This is also one of my favorite ones. It came out pretty well. But you see, making a character like this is a team effort. You know, first, the concept artists. They are from Romania. 2 Romanian guys were working with us with this project. And they were making amazing concepts that are making a great 3D afterwards. So, then we make the 3D. It has to be well made and nice. And then we have the animators. As you can see, animations are very, very nice for some of the characters, for most of the characters here. And all of those things, 2D, 3D, and animations, and the textures also, are making the character. Not only the 3D artist. The 3D artist is cool, but if the others don't do their job properly, it doesn't work quite well. This one I also made. It was a little bit of a challenge because the dress is a little bit, you know, broken. And yeah, it was. But what you see here, the dress and her body, up to the collar, everything is one mesh. Everything, the dress, the legs are another mesh, and the head is, I think, a different mesh. But collar down to the arms and this, everything is one mesh. So in order to do that, you have to retopologize by hand. There's no other way. This one is one of the first characters we did for the game, and I say we because it was I did the 3D completely myself, but there was a effort from, of course, the concept artist, and then the animators, and everyone is doing their job pretty well. This one also I like because he's muscular, he's huge, he has this kind of a demonic face. He's a vampire. This one's I didn't do. No. This one also is not bad, with purple lips. She's a kind of a black American character. African American, we may say. Very cool. This one also is cool. The animations are a little bit strange for the mouth, but it's fine. Ha! Yeah, this is also one of the first characters we did for the game, Stamatus. So yeah, but let's see the actual character that I wanted to show. This was one of the final characters that I did for the game. It's pretty nice with this weapon. By the way, this weapon has some interesting animations, but probably we cannot see it because it's not unlocked. Here is this guy. Can you see the triangles on his belly? No. Why? Because the normal map and everything, and you cannot see, those triangles are unseen. And this guy, if you see the actual course, everything is one mesh of his body. This is a separate mesh because it's a separate object, and his weapon is a separate mesh, but all the other things I think are just one continuous mesh. Which is kind of hard to do in certain places like the chain, for example, but I did it because it's better this way. So, okay guys, this will be for this time. Let me see if some other comments we have. How did you learn 3D sculpting? With a lot of practice and wish to learn. Hi sir, thank you for an amazing course. I'm still working on the anatomy course. While I'm finding it challenging, I committed to improving. Yes. How did you learn? Yes. I'm sure you can ask this a lot, but does AI present any real threat to 3D artists or just panic mongering? No. To the 3D artists, no. To the 2D artists a little bit, but not too much even for them. I mean, if you're a good artist, 3D or 2D, you will have no problem finding a job after the depression end, because now we are in some kind of a depression. Nico, what's your opinion on becoming a master sculptor but partying every weekend also, which holds me back? Can you balance the two? No, if you party just one kind of a night for the whole week, it's fine. Oh man, I love to hop in those Discord streams. Yeah, you know, in order to hop in the Discord streams, don't mute the channel. I have almost 8,000 people in this channel, in this server. 8,000 people. When I announce a stream, usually no more than 30 people appear in the stream. So most of the people just muted the channel, which I don't know. Why do you go to the server? I mean, why do you go to a certain server and then mute it just to be there, just to have it on your thing? You don't get the announcements for the streams, you don't get announcements for challenges, you don't get announcements for new courses or whatever. You don't get anything if you mute the stream, the server. So, I don't know. How to find the motivation and time to improve your portfolio and do personal work if you work professionally full-time in the industry? If you work professionally full-time in the industry, usually you don't update your portfolio. You don't need to, because you're working professionally in the industry. You get the need to update your portfolio when they lay you off, like many people are laid off right now. So usually you don't have too much time when you work in the industry, but you don't need it. Just join the stream. What game is this? This was one of the games that we did in Gameloft, and I was showing just my characters, the characters that I did in 3D for this game. Nico, can you explain me how works a 3D model of a character with, for example, head is not attached to the body? How it works in engines? Is it attaching like parent? I just can't imagine. They are attaching it to a skeleton, which is called a rig. So don't worry about it, it's fine. They can do it. You made this game as a freelancer, or was it made a big company? It was Gameloft game, and I was working in Gameloft. I will say I'm glad I never pursued a career in game dev after college. Everyone I know, amazing artists, all have been laid off and struggling to find work. All this after record profits. Exactly. That's how the industry is right now. Many people are laid off, many people are struggling, many people don't have work as artists. 3D, 2D, producers, game designers, doesn't matter. Everyone is struggling right now. As I told you, this will be for at least 2 years. So the idea is that if you really want to go and find job, you have to be able to do 2D art, to have some Photoshop skills, to have some drawing skills, and you have to go to the gambling industry and work with AI there, and just retouch the AIs. You know, remove the sixth finger or the third ear or whatever you have to do. Is there a reason why you don't use 3D concepts as reference? Sometimes I do. Thank you for the vids. I learned a lot from your lives. I started and looking at your videos and it helped a lot. Thank you. Freelance, on the other hand, I wouldn't mind doing now. Nobody is minding, but it's very scarce. How much time did they give you for each character? Around 2 weeks. Oh, exactly. I forgot about this. Thank you. About Rix. Thank you, Nico. Good afternoon, honored one. Please, honored one. Please suggest good tutorial for beginners in sculpting. Just found your channel yesterday and watched the video with Goro for Mortal Kombat. Is great. So again, I will suggest my courses, or not my courses, the courses of Nikolai Naidanov. This guy here has great courses for sculpting, for anatomy, and for the programs. So he has sculpting. He has absolute beginner course for ZBrush, so you can learn ZBrush. He has absolute beginner course for Blender. And another one, also, if you don't like this character with the mouse, you can check out the character, the rabbit character. And he has many other courses for head anatomy sculpting exercises, arm and hand anatomy exercises also, and superhuman anatomy, which is anatomy course, and female anatomy for artists, which is probably the best female anatomy course out there. Maybe it's a little bit sexist to make a female anatomy course, but since there were not too many female anatomy courses, and I wanted to learn female anatomy, I had to do the research, do a lot of practice, and I did the course myself. So this is the course, Female Anatomy for Artists. A pretty good course, I would say, for female anatomy. What's the reason to make single mesh for models with clothes and skirts? Do riggers and bones in the skirts, or do blend shapes for movement? There are a lot of reasons, and I explain them mostly in the course here. By the way, this course, if you don't have money, you are a student and you barely have money to eat, you don't have to buy this course. It's on my other channel, completely for free. All the 38 videos of this course are on the other channel, which is SpeedChar. This one is SpeedChar Live. The other channel is called just SpeedChar, and I have those videos there. I see this as a great tipping point for the big studio to finally crumble while the artists band together to create new companies and have more artistic games. Now, nobody can band together and create companies that much because all the people who are giving money for new companies are just having troubles with their own trouble of their own. So it's difficult these days to get financing for a new company. Were the characters done before the 2 weeks, or did you need more time? Usually I have done them for 2 weeks, yes. Nikolai Naidonov's courses in Russian. Not possible. He doesn't speak Russian that much. Could you link your other channel? To link my other channel. Let's see if I can link my other channel. SpeedChar. But there is a link in the description, I guess. Let's see. Let's go and see if there is a link in the description of this video. Okay. If you go to this video, this is this video. And in the description of this video, you can find absolutely free character creation course in Blender and click on it. So, guys, watch the descriptions of the videos. A lot of things can be found there. A lot of things. And this is the whole playlist of creating of this character. So this is this thing. And yeah, we have my ArtStation courses store. We have my ArtStation, my Udemy, Instagram, link to SpeedChar channel. Can you link the other channel? Here it is, link to this channel. So I would say, link to my other channel in the description. Find it. There is link to the Discord server, of course, and there is link to donation from PayPal. PayPal donations. Not many people are using that, and I understand, because most people who are watching my videos, they are students, they want to learn, they don't have that much money, and especially these days where everything is a little bit more difficult for everybody since the prices are up, inflation everywhere, everything is much more expensive, food and everything, so yeah. I think it's missing the 2 last chapter on free course on the channel, Nico. Yes. The paid course has just 2 videos at the end, bonus. Because it's paid, you know, you have to pay for something. But overall, most of the things are in the free one. How much has been said here about female anatomy for artists? A lot. Any good rigging add-ons to use? No. In Udemy, there is 2 more chapters than in YouTube. Exactly. And in ArtStation also. When you pay for the course, you get 40 or 41 videos instead of 38 videos. So a little bit more. A little bit more. But it's fine. I also have bundles. I forgot about the bundles. Bundles are very interesting. So you go to the store and then you go to bundles and you can find the courses 35% off all the time. If you find all the courses interesting for you, of course, from the bundle. So, yeah. Okay, and that bombshell, we end this video, as they say, in Top Gear. And we will see you in tomorrow, probably, if I can do a video tomorrow with ArtStation reviews. See you.